Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Anne Marie, and today I'm going to discuss the 10 Things I Love About You, The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. This is a no spoilers book review, so don't worry about me revealing any plot twists or ruining any surprise endings. The whole point of this is to give you an inside peek into the book. So here we go. The Midnight Feast invites us inside the opening weekend of a luxury resort called The Manor. Built in an ancient forest overlooking the Dorset coastline, pampered guests have access to soaring ocean views, emerald lawns stretching to the cliff edge, a dense forest with a woodland grotto, an infinity pool, morning meditation sessions, crystals for healing, fine drinks, and a restaurant that only serves locally grown organic food. Unfortunately, the locals view the manor as an intrusion into their woods and their community beach, so they're not happy about the new resort. There's also talk of the Nightbirds, an avenging force that rights wrongs and seeks retribution while eluding the law. Nevertheless, the local police are called on Sunday morning of opening weekend because there's been a fire and a body's been discovered. As we soon learn, everyone at the resort has an agenda, everyone has a past, but not everyone survives the Midnight Feast. The first thing I love about this book is the concept of the Midnight Feast. This feast is a celebration of the summer solstice, and it is meant to be the jewel in the crown of the opening weekend of the manor. The decor includes hanging lanterns, wicker sculptures, and tables decorated with a midsummer cornucopia theme. Fine cider, high-end spit roast, and live musical acts will also add to the pagan chic experience. Guests in attendance don willow crowns and white linen garments, while the staff wear emerald green cloaks stitched with fabric leaves. The ambiance is meant to convey a sense of transcendence or otherworldliness, and that's all fine and good until someone ends up dead. The second thing I love about this book are the chapters titled The Day After the Solstice. These are the chapters that slowly reveal what occurs after the Midnight Feast. The first chapter, labeled The Day After the Solstice, begins with fishermen headed for deep water a little before 5 in the morning. They notice the fire at the manor resort, and then soon thereafter, a dead body. These chapters give us glimpses into the events that occur on Sunday morning after the resort weekend comes to a tragic end. We know early on that someone ends up dead. We're just not sure who it is. Most of the other chapters in the book are told from the points of view of 4 people currently at the resort. These 4 people include the founder, the founder's husband, a guest, and a kitchen worker. The founder is number 3 on my list, Francesca Meadows. She inherited the property from her grandmother and had a vision of turning it into a posh, countryside Eden for paying guests to enjoy. Francesca wanted to tap into the local pagan history, old rural traditions of celebrating the seasons, but with a fresh, modern touch, nothing macabre. She believes in the healing power of crystals and stones and wants everyone's experience at the manor to feel magical. She also prides herself on treating her staff well and learning their names because she believes people will work for lower pay if they feel valued at their place of work. Francesca is good at letting go of the past, and she strives for a Zen fairy queen vibe. She's married to Owen Dacre, who is number 4 on my list. Owen Dacre is the architect who designed all the modern renovations at the manor resort. He claims that someone from Francesca's office reached out to him regarding submitting a design plan. Although Francesca has always insisted no one from her office reached out to him, she credits fate for bringing them together. Owen shared her ambition and vision, and she felt a professional partnership with him was meant to be. Owen and Francesca had a whirlwind courtship and have been married for a couple of months. The guest, also known as Bella Springfield, is number 5 on my list. Bella is staying in the Woodland Hutches, which are wooden cabins located near the forest with outdoor baths and rain showers. Since they don't have sea views, they're not as expensive as the clifftop cabins. The treehouse rooms are currently under construction. They will be like the woodland hutches, but several feet off the ground to give guests a treehouse experience. Bella is there because she received magazine and newspaper clippings from an unknown source about Francesca Meadows and the opening of the manor. Bella has no idea who sent them to her, nor does she know why, but she decided to take part in the weekend festivities, and as the story slowly unfolds, we learn what compelled her to do so. The kitchen worker is number 6 on my list, Eddie. Although his family owns Seaview Farm, just down the road from the manor, Eddie is allergic to cows and has no intention of taking over the family farm. He currently works as a dishwasher at the resort, although he dreams of being a bartender in London. He's described as being a gentle giant, a big guy with a calm demeanor. He works alongside Ruby, who he refers to as his mate from reception. Ruby's character adds a bit of humor to the book. She's street smart, she's from London, and she makes witty, sarcastic observations about the guests, such as, how can there be so many problems in the world when there are so many wealthy women with crystals? My personal favorite is when she complains to Eddie about the costumes they must wear for the midnight feast. She explains that the guests will wear white and willow crowns, and then says, it's like they're going for this midsummer aesthetic, but haven't actually watched the film to see how it ends. The movie Midsummer, despite starting as a serene festival at a sunny Swedish commune, turns into an extremely violent horror film. The 7th thing I love about the Midnight Feast are the chapters titled Summer Journal. These journal entries are an account of what happened 15 years ago in and around the manor and the village of Toome. These chapters provide the dual timeline component of the story. They slowly reveal how what happened in the past provides the motives affecting the characters in the present day. The 8th thing I love about the Midnight Feast is not knowing who the victim is until the end of the book. As I mentioned earlier, local fishermen discover a dead body a little before 5 in the morning on the day after the solstice. This is Sunday morning of the opening weekend of the manor resort. We as the readers don't learn the identity of that dead body until the end of the book, so we have no idea who dies until the end of the story. This adds a considerable amount of suspense because as we're reading and learning more about these characters, we know one of them ends up dead, but we have no idea who it is or why that person is killed until the last few pages. The 9th thing I love about this book is the underlying pagan folklore vibe. Despite the posh countryside Eden that Francesca has worked so hard to achieve, the grounds of the manor, specifically the ancient forest, have a dark, creepy, almost horror-like vibe. Francesca has been warned to keep the birds happy and not upset them. Of course, she brushes off the warning as local nonsense because birds, really? How much damage could the birds do to this picture-perfect fairy tale weekend? Which brings me to the 10th thing I love, the birds. The birds are my favorite part of the book. Outside the manor is the village of Toome that contains stonework panels from the 15th century. One of the images is of 12 hooded figures standing in a circle in the middle of a forest, their heads bowed so you can't see their faces. According to legend, this group of individuals, known as the Birds, protected the community, satisfied grievances, and delivered justice long before the existence of a local police department. But surely this historic group ceased to exist a long time ago, right? Blackbird feathers are a recurring theme throughout the story, so take note of them as you read, because they are significant. So too are the bird markings scattered throughout the pages. Of course, you'll need to read until the very last page to see how it all comes together, but I assure you, in this book, the birds are one with nature, and nature always finds a way to deliver justice. If you've read the book and would like to add to my list of things to love, feel free to do so in the comments. Until next time, take care, be well, and happy reading.